everyone. Whew. Today, welcome to Tarot Playdate number 16. Let me see if I can get that just a little lower. Anyway, I'm good. I'm so glad to be here, you guys and gals. I'm not going to stress about that guys thing anymore. I've decided to let it go. But I want to say hi to people. So Jamie, first one in. Hi, Jamie. Also the proxy for Shane, who had to work today, unfortunately. But it's good to see you, Jamie. You've been waiting here for quite a while, I think. We have Patrice here, who made herself clean for us. Thanks for that. Thanks for getting ready for us. Earthy Shy Tarot is here. Nancy's here. Hello, Elle. Dropping a link to the Facebook group. Thank you for that. Good modding. Bastet, hi. Let's see. Essence 818 is here. Nice to see you. Let's see. Oh, Simon. Hello, Simon. Julia's here. Diane is here. Why am I'm scrolling up and down? Like, this is not very efficient. Let's see. We have, I said Diane, Julia, Maharet, Julia. Did I just say Julia like 7 times? I don't even know. Oh, the Emperor's Oracle. Hello. Anne, hi. Jennifer, you made it in spite of your social media ban. So I appreciate that. I appreciate that a lot. White Tree Tarot. Hello. Kimberly, hi. Oh my gosh. Okay. Are we ready? Are we ready to have a little fun? How's everybody doing? What I thought was really cute. You guys were talking in here in the chat about what you have with you, you know, whether you have your journal, your cup of tea, your pets, your decks. That's really fun. I like seeing you guys chatting about that before I even turned on the camera. Let's see, who else is sneaking in here? Val. Oh, my sister, Little Zen Crone. Hi, Julie. Juliet. Hi. Yeah, I'm glad you could join us this week as well. Aquarius Owl is here. Frankly Tarot. Ooh, we've got a good crew already happening here. I'm very excited to see you all. I'm going to drink my really hot tea. All right, so it's been a crazy week in the world, as we all know. Hopefully, you found a little time to tarot or to think about tarot. Thank you. This was actually a gift from Sean Loreth, who's a member of our community. We actually had a chance to meet up before the lockdown here in Seattle, and he got this for me, which was so sweet. So it's my first tarot mug, and I love it. Hi, Michelle. Soki, hi. It's nice to see you. All right. So did anybody have the Page of Pentacles play out for them in any particular way this week? This was a card, I think, last week called by Kiana, if I remember right. But, oh, okay. We cannot have the buffering thing happen again. That was so terrible. Hi, Lori. Nice to see you. I'm glad it's not buffering for you, Simon. That's good. Anyway, so the Page of Pentacles, I have to admit, I was really distracted this week, and I'm sure I'm not the only one, but I did do the alternate activity that we had from the Playdate, and I posted my results of that in the Tarot Playdate Facebook group and on Instagram last night. It was a bit of a hard punch. I'm like, okay, thank you. I will try to focus on the positive for a bit. So that was actually a really great exercise. So thank you to Julie for that one, because that was one she came up with. Hey, Jackie, welcome in. Susie, hello. Hopefully I haven't missed saying hi to anyone. All right, are we ready to find out what card we're gonna get? Hi, Kiana. Okay, Kiana, you have to keep your card of the week to yourself because whoever says they have a card of the week, it seems to be the card we pick. All right, I am ready for, I think everybody here probably has been here before. Ooh, hi, Juliet. Let's see. I was surprised to find out that every day the cards that I pulled told me that I have enough. I'm not rolling in coins, but there is enough. You know, sometimes it's exactly the lesson. And I think right now, especially gratitude, gratefulness, you know, recognizing what we have in our lives is good. You know, there's a lot of concern and panic about the things that we don't have or the things that we might need. And if we really focus on what we have, a lot of times that can really help calm the nerves. Psychically yours. Your 3 play date. You know, here's the thing about the play dates. You can watch them in any order because they're totally random. So you catch up when you can. It's nice to see you here. Julia, oh, let's see. Our streaming is bad, still buffering in the US Eastern. Ooh, are you having that same problem, Julie? Because I know you're on the East Coast. Tiny Dancer is here, hardly even late. I'm still just like babbling nonsense at ya. Oh, okay. We've had both of those cards. That's hilarious. All right. So first of all, I'm gonna try something new this week. I'm gonna try to type out the question. Oh, yours was buffering too, Jamie. Well, it's good it's not doing that anymore. Yeah, as long as you have cat food. Yeah, right. Taking care of our pet fur babies. I'm on the East Coast and I had a little buffering. Well, hopefully, I mean, with everybody being online now as a way of connecting, I imagine internet bandwidth is getting chewed up pretty decently. But all right, so first step of Playdate is to gather a list of 5 questions that we want to answer with our card of the week. And what I'll do is answer those, or we, not me, we will answer those with the 5 alternate decks that I pulled for this week randomly. All right, are you guys ready to throw some questions at me? And there are no rules. Ask what you want to ask. You know, we are here to help each other, have a good time, support each other. Hi, Jamie. So there's another Jamie in the room. Nice to see you. All right, so do you guys have questions for me? All right, I have my little notes up here. I'm going to try typing because that'll be faster, as long as I can still see the chat. Tell us what we can manifest in our lives this week. I like it, Julie. What can we, why is my font super small in our lives this week? Okay, my font is like super tiny. There we go. Hi, Mindy. Nice to see you. What can I do to elevate my mood this week? Yes. What can we do to elevate our mood this week? Yeah, you know, we all need to find the cheer and happy where we can, right? Simon, you do get one in every week because you're fast on that keyboard. Lori, how can we stay sane? Is that the same thing as elevating the mood, or is that a little bit different? Let's see. How can we best take care of our loved ones? From Basta. Oops, I can't type it in the chat. Can we best take care of our loved ones? The only problem with this is it hides my chat window when I go to type this. So let me see who put these. So we had Jilly and Jennifer. Okay. So I admit I am seeing the questions about the pets and the 4 teenagers. I do try to keep it so that we can all relate maybe on some level to the questions. So I'm kind of avoiding some of those more specific ones. I hope you don't mind. Okay, and all caps certainly helps for me to see them as well. Oh, Jamie, I saw you pop up one here. How can we best focus on keeping patient this week? How can we, I'm gonna write, how can we maintain patience this week? Does that work for you, Jamie? All right, I need one more, and I think I've got them in here. Okay. How can we support each other this week? From Patrice. You know, I really like that. How can we best take care of our loved ones and support each other? I'm going to kind of combine those because I think those are really related. So that was Bastet and Patrice. And then I think there was one more in here. Yeah, patience. How to deal, alleviating anxiety or dealing with boredom. What? You guys are, so many good questions. Okay, I have to pick the 5th one. All right. Just because I know we're all homebound, how can we alleviate boredom this week? By coming to Tarot Play Date, right? Okay, so this one was Jamie. And this one, and if I didn't pick it, please bring it back next week. I'm sorry. You guys are throwing out so many good questions. Okay, so that was from Selkie. Although I can't, for whatever reason, spell boredom today. Oh, no, alleviate. Alleviate. I don't know if I even spelled that right. Okay, let me see if I missed anything in the chat, and we'll get to shuffling and probably dropping. But okay. Should I buy more decks this week, this day, this hour? I admit I did order 2 decks yesterday. I haven't ordered decks in a while. I did get 2 decks from the Hay House sale. For anybody who doesn't know, they are having a 50% off sale. To be honest, I have most of the Hay House decks that I kind of want to have, which there aren't a ton of them. But I have had sitting on my wish list for a while getting the mass market edition of the Light Seers. So I ended up picking up that deck. And then I also got, I'm trying to get my chat window up here and my little videos so I know when I'm showing you a card correctly. There it is. And then I got something of Avalon Oracle deck. It's a deck, it's, oh shoot, what's her name? It's really kind of cutesy art. It's been out since like, I want to say 2014 or 2002. So I don't know, really old. But I ended up picking up 2 decks. But then yesterday I ordered, finally, they've been sitting on my wish list forever and ever, the Anna Kay independent deck, directly from Anna Kay herself, as well as her Lenormand deck. I think Jamie Kelly, you were the one that said, you know, she's had to shut down her yoga business, which has been her primary source of income. And I thought, you know, if I can support somebody who's had to do that with something that I wanted for a long time anyway, then why not? Mists of Avalon? No, I don't think it's that one. Oh, yes. If you have questions, oh, can you do play date every day that you're housebound? You know, we'd get through it a lot faster, wouldn't we? Except for I'm actually really fortunate, Selkie. I have a job that allows me to work. I'm just shuffling and answering questions. I have a job that allows me to work remotely. So I'm actually really busy during the day. And in fact, it's almost harder to put the computer down because I'm not driving back and forth to work, which is only 7 minutes away. But yeah, it would be nice if I could, well, I actually can't say that because I'm really, really fortunate that I'm still able to work even while being housebound. Yeah, the animal kin I ended up not connecting with, but I know a lot of people really love it. Oh, I gave that to my son. He took it home. Yeah, US Games is closing down. I think they were going to try and ship stuff out this weekend if you ordered it. Oh, Shane snuck in from work, you little rebel. Hello. I was just talking about you. All right. Did you end up ordering it yesterday, Elle? Did you end up getting the tarot and the Lenormand, or the Lenormand, or just the tarot? All right, I'm not even focusing on the questions as I shuffle. If I miss a question from you, type it in all caps or tag me if you're on a device that'll let you do that so I can see it. I need to, that Playful Heart Tarot, Lori, I think I saw it on Mindy's channel, Artistry of Tarot. Great channel, by the way, if you guys haven't checked it out. And I need to look closer at that deck. All right, let me look at our questions and we'll pull our card for the week. First question this week, what can we manifest in our lives this week? That's from Jilly. What can we do to elevate our moods this week? That's from Jennifer Ball, but I also think that kind of goes along with some of the anxiety questions as well that we were getting. 3, how can we best take care of our loved ones and support each other this week? Those I combined from Bastet and Patrice. And 4, how can we maintain patience this week? Jamie, my son-in-law to be. And then 5th question, how can we alleviate boredom this week? All right, you guys. Oh, my shuffling is crap right now. All right. Yeah, I really am liking. Is that Playful Heart still available, Mindy? Yeah, I'm really happy with these questions. Okay, here we go. All right, I'm not going to peek this time. I'm going to show you at the same time. Ooh, 8 of Cups. Interesting. We're going to get to dive into this today for sure. It's not a 1. I don't understand. This is like one of the most creative, like out of the box things I've ever done. And no ones in tarot play date. I really don't understand it. Yeah, I actually from Amazon, I have to just tell the story because I just saw Julia pop Amazon into the chat. I ordered a week ago on Prime, 1 day delivery, a replacement hose for my kitchen sink because it's leaking everywhere. So I can't use my kitchen sink right now while sequestered at home. I'm using like the bathroom sink and having to run back and forth. They said it would be delivered yesterday, didn't even ship. I can't cancel it because it's in the advanced stages of shipping. I just think it's going to sit there for like a week. So I don't know how long I'm doing dishes in the bathroom sink, but it looks like it might be for a while. All right. So how do you guys feel upon me immediately pulling the 8 of Cups today? What do you think? So Mendy says, this is a stalker card for me. It comes up for me about 3 times a month. This was a stalker card for me a lot last year and kind of leading into this year. So I can relate. Although it's funny because I wouldn't feel like this, it's not a card that's really coming up for me these days, but it's not all about me here. So that's good. Let's see, walk away. All right, Earthy Shy, see you in a minute. All right, so we'll come back to our questions, of course, but here's kind of our first look at our card of the week. Patience is key. There is time for everything. You know what I just noticed? I don't think I have ever noticed that there's a face in this moon. I don't think I've ever noticed that. Every week, something kind of gets me that I hadn't noticed before. This is actually a great card. Yeah, Essence 818. I love the 8 of Cups. Sometimes you must walk away no matter how attempting to stay. The moon is eclipsing the sun. Oh, is the face in the sun and the moon? Oh, see? Okay. Anne says weariness regarding the present. Like we're all like, can we all just walk away from this right now? Yes. The sun and moon together. How I didn't know. See, this is why I need you all. This is why I need you. Elle says leaving what is known and going into the unknowns. Now we're kind of throwing out, what are some of the known meanings that we have about this card? What first comes to mind when we see the 8 of Cups? Just in general, right? So we're kind of amassing our understanding of the card's basic meanings. Patrice says, let's walk away from our fears and assumptions about the world we live in. Selkie, walking away from something good. Letting go of past expectations, says Kim. Ooh, I like that one. Letting go of past expectations. Julie says, we are leaving the life we knew and moving to something different on higher ground. Jackie, moving on to better things. Juliet says, everyone is dealing with that right now. Jobs are in limbo. People have to walk away from abundance for a while. No more text for a while. Bastet says, following our emotions and leaving something in our past. Anne says, abandoning a hopeless situation. So in some cases here, we're walking away from, what no longer serves in many different capacities, right? You'll have to forgive the poor manicure situation. Apparently nail salons are not essential service. So this is just going to get worse in the coming days. Let's see here. White Tree Tarot. There is 1 cup missing in the second row of cups. The person is going to look for that missing part. Ooh, that's interesting. Filling in the gap to get that 9th cup. That's an interesting way to look at that. I immediately stopped knowing how to talk the minute we start Tarot Play Date. Psychically Yours, I've heard this card referred to as the divorce card. Yeah, I can see that. This is the walking away card. Susie asks, what does everyone make of the cups being stacked like this? Essence 818, not allowing yourself to become complacent. Lori's noticing that the sky is gray. I always kind of look at the sky in this one as being like dusk. It's kind of like, okay, I don't know. I feel like this walking away is happening like the end of a very long day or something like that. That's just kind of the what it brings to mind for me. But yeah, it's interesting. We have this kind of sun and moon thing happening, which was pointed out for me. Julie says, I'm thinking that we need to manifest strength to leave what we saw as good behind and trust we are moving to a better place. Not an easy walk. Yeah, this card is never, I don't think, for the most part, meant to convey that the journey that we're embarking upon is going to be easy. It's an uphill climb, right, to get to sort of that higher ground. And a lot of versions of this card, and we'll kind of get to see more versions of this card, which I'm going to be really excited to do today. And we can, a lot of times you see it's climbing up a really steep hill, climbing up a mountain. It's not an easy journey, but hopefully the destination is worth the effort, right? And we're not skip-to-looing up that hill. And we're kind of trudging, aren't we, Jilly? We're kind of trudging up that hill. Yeah, psychically yours. They are using a walking stick, may suggest a hard and long hike. Kiana's answering, was it Lori who asked that? Somebody asked about the stacked cups. Oh, no, that was Susie. Cups being stacked equals something that was once very important to you, but no longer is. Oh, that's an interesting way to look at that. And stepping out of the water, emotions, walking away from this water up here, right? Onto more firmer trail and grounding oneself. Conscious will, says Simon. Oh, the sun. Oh, let me look up here. The sun stands for the conscious will. The moon represents what is one's own private and below the level of consciousness. The moon represents one's own private what? I really wanted to read that a way that Elle would probably read that, which was not good. Jackie says, going against the flow. Elle, finding regenerative energy from within yourself. Juliet, the cups are balancing. We need to create balance in our lives this week. Do for others, but also do for oneself or ourselves. White Tree Tarot says, I like the Golden Dawn title for this card, Abandoned Success. Oh, that's interesting. Like abandoning. Yeah, and that's kind of going back to when people say, you're walking away from something that's good. Was that you, Selkie, that said that earlier? Mendy, oh, that's how I've seen the stacked cups too. Realigning priorities, says Jilly. Terrain. Oh, terrain. That makes sense. That makes sense. Usually I can fill in the spelling gaps, but Selkie says it reminds me of Buddha walking away when he was a prince to nothing and then finding his spiritual life. Yes. Yes. He walked away from that book. The book that I read by, oh shoot, Simon, what is the author's name? I want to say it's Ruksa or something like that. But the book Buddha, it was so good. Such a good book. Simon says, basically the sun is our conscious and the moon is our unconscious. Psychically yours. I see them walking away from the cups, so they're leaving their old feelings behind. Definitely. I see this as leaving emotions behind or things that we're really strongly emotionally tied to. Deepak Chopra. Not at all Ruksa anything. I'm thinking of the Thai place that's near me called Buddha Ruksa. As apparently, if you say Buddha, I immediately think Ruksa, Thai food, yummy. It's really yummy. Okay. Deepak Chopra. That's the right one. Thank you, Jelly and Simon. All right. Okay. All right. So let's talk a little bit more. There's a lot. I really need to get back into my coloring. I'm cards and cards behind. I think now this will be like my 5th card that I haven't colored yet that we've gotten. So let's take a look at all of our symbology. We already looked at our sun and moon here. And then there's a lot of water in this card, which makes sense being a cups card. Lots of rocky ground, mountainous type landscape, and then these cups in the forefront. Now, I know that Julie always kind of likes to point out when somebody's wearing red, and that oftentimes will bring some additional meaning to the card for us. All right, let's see what else you guys have been talking about while I was showing off little things there. Essence 818, did he fill each cup with what's weighing him down? Lighten the emotional load. Ooh, ready for some symbols? Yes, Simon. That's yes, I am. I was just showing them, so feel free to talk about them. Oh, Kiana read my mind because right after this, I was going to ask about the numerology of 8 because I'm a little less sure on numerology with 8s. rewards, progress, reevaluation, evolution, movement from one phase to the next, moving on from past emotions. Well, that last one pretty much is oftentimes exactly what this card represents. Thank you, Kiana. So Simon, oh, the staff. See, I didn't even point. Well, somebody else pointed out the staff or the walking stick earlier. Takes us back to the hermit and reminds us to stand confident in our own strength and be conscious of our own weak points. So understanding where we need help or assistance, as well as recognizing where we can be strong. Ooh, I love that. Selkie says the sun is sad looking down, right? The expression on the face there, right? You know, it does look like this sun is looking down towards our figure walking away here, though, doesn't it? Sorry, my shadowy fingers. Feel like I kind of see that. Anne says the red clothing with energy, patience, and passion. Hopefully I didn't miss anything. If I missed anything good, make sure to highlight it for me. And the chariot and wanderer from the Six of Cups, Simon. Yeah, you know, that creature that's in the background in the Six of, or the creature, the character, not creature, that monster in the background of the Six of Cups, you know, that a lot of times people don't even notice in that card. But the chariot, oh, how is this similar to the chariot? There's something I'm not thinking of, I'm sure. 8 is others, says Tiny Dancer. What do you mean by that? Like 8 from a numerological standpoint? Mindy says can also mean advancement or moving forward. Oh, 8 can also mean advancement or moving forward. Got it. That shift key. The shift key turned it into a star for you, right? Simon says the red robe, you will find a way if you rely on and follow the power of the soul and strength of your wishes, moon and river, and proceed with strength of will and passion. I swear I know how to speak. So Simon's doing us all a favor and pulling some of the gems from this book here, The Ultimate Guide to the Rider-Waite Smith, by, I never can say this right, Johann Feibig and Evelyn Berger. I think, anyway, available on Amazon. Not that you can get it delivered to you right now, but I'm just saying. Oh, Shane, you're still here listening. Oh, the guy in the chariot is holding a magic wand or a hiking staff. I've never noticed that. I'm not going to dig for the chariot now, but that's really interesting. All right, so anybody else kind of want to point out anything on here before we maybe start looking at some of our alternate cards and answering our questions? Feibig, is that how I say it, Jen? Feibig, F-I-E-B-I-G, Feibig. Thank you, appreciate that. I know sometimes my webcam volume picks me up louder than my camera, and so sometimes I think I need to talk louder than I do. So you guys can just tell me to take the volume down a notch. The position a classic cross and something, ... cliffhanger. The boulders in his path, the rough terrain. Yes, Aquarius owl. Always I see this as kind of a rough journey. Thank you for bringing all that stuff to us, Simon, too. As usual, the mountains stand for blockages. Yep. And then any other thoughts on kind of the gray sky? I kind of gave you my interpretation, but does anybody else have any thoughts on what that represents or if it represents anything? And while you think on that, I'm going to get a sip of tea here. His calves are big, walking a long time. Yeah, muscular legs there. Or could be a girl with muscular legs, but I've always seen that as a male figure for whatever reason. Oh, sorry, I'm out of focus there. There is a character in the background of the Six. You must have missed that play date, Lori. Yeah, we exploded a few brains that day, including my own. I had never seen that character in the Six of Cups in the background. But yeah, it adds something to it, doesn't it? The mountains are close, right? These mountains aren't in the distance like we see with a lot of our cards. They're much closer, Aquarius owl. Simon says the ravine, you master obstacles and cope well under pressure when, like water, you follow the lay of the land, right? So he is traveling along the river, along the water, right? Elle says the gap between the cups. The cups take you into their midst. No longer do you have the cups in your hand, but they have you. Your capacities are insufficient for dealing consciously with big feels. How do you read this card, Jen? Are you asking me, Tiny Dancer? I read this card really similar to kind of what we talked about in the beginning is it's walking away from somebody said earlier expectations, right? And I think that's a lot of the reasons we often have to walk away from things that are good or that we perceived to be good at one time is because we had certain expectations of what that was going to mean in our life or mean to us. And a lot of times that really in the end isn't for our greater good, or maybe something isn't good for us anymore. And maybe it was at one point. And so I always see this as walking away and leaving those things behind and pursuing something that maybe isn't easy to do, but in the end is going to serve the higher purpose and the greater good, if that makes sense. So that's often how I read this card, and this is how it's come up for me a lot in recent times. All right, Julie says, oh, with the gray skies, he's stuck in the middle. Ooh, I hate the gray area. It's my least comfortable place to be. Lori, he's leaving what he knows, safety. Yes, sometimes walking away from the comfort and the things that we've been complacent, that can be really hard for people to do. And gray skies might indicate storms coming or maybe still heart and mind in balance. Susie's noticing that the water is calm. Oh, did you pull that from the book, Al? I totally thought that was an Ellism. Jamie says, could it be that the traveler has the cup that fits the gap? Or is that way off? Knows nothing about tarot yet. Jamie, I'm so glad you're participating anyway. And somebody else actually said the same thing. Like maybe that traveler is either taking the cup or maybe they're looking for the cup that fills the gap, right? So I think that's good to notice. Essence 818, the cups are left as they should be. Would not change anything from my past, but time to move towards something new. Doesn't mean better, just not the same, right? So maybe it's the concept of no regrets. Appreciating what is, letting those cups stand, letting it be what it is, but still walking away from it. Ooh, I like that a lot. Are the cups blocking us from the river? That's interesting. I feel, we kind of had a similar thing in the Six of Cups, right? Where we had those rows of cups with the flowers up front. And it's, sort of from our perspective, looking towards that figure, it's separating for us from that figure and the river. But I don't know. I feel like maybe we're the past. We're looking at this from the past that this figure is walking away from. But it's really good to think about those things. And that's why some of these other decks, like the Spacious Tarot, where you can actually immerse yourself into the scene, are really cool. It's too bad I don't have that one. Jen, you made it. I know this is the last week, I think, because UK, the rest of the world, do you guys all change time? UK and Australia, do you change time next week? Is that when that happens? But I think next Sunday's play date will be back to 6:30 p.m. for the folks in the UK. Tell me if I'm wrong, but I think that's right. But I'm so glad you made it. We're still just looking at the very first card. I haven't even pulled alternate cards yet. We're just poking along today. Okay, we'll catch up next weekend. That means I have to get up earlier for your cup of ketchup and cards, Simon. I kind of liked that, it being at 9 a.m. my time. All right. That's actually a great segue, I think, into, let's start with our first alternate card. But let me know if you have any other thoughts on this. I'm going to put the Page of Pentacles away, take a sip of tea. So as I always do, the 5 decks that I'm pulling as alternates are just randomly drawn using a random name generator. As I get new decks, I put them into the mix. But we've already cycled through my collection. I have a few decks that I didn't include for whatever reason. Like I don't have the same, I have multiple RWS decks, right? I have the Centennial, I have the Radiant White Spirit. I don't pull those because the artwork is essentially the same. So I try to pull the alternative decks. All right, the first one that I have here is one we haven't looked at in a little while, and that is the Darkness of Light Tarot. Figure we'll go a really extreme different way here. Let's look at our 8 of Cups in this card, or in this deck. Ooh, I forgot to let the chat scroll here. Simon, who are you asking about the 8 hours behind? Because I am on the West Coast. Oh, who else came in here? Oh, Hecate, hello. Did anybody else sneak in that I missed? If so, like wave at me or something so I can make sure to say hello to you. Naomi, were you in here or did you sneak in? Okay, anyway, here is our Eight of Cups from the Darkness of Light Tarot. So I'm going to go ahead and pull it close and then we'll pull it back. Simon, did you forget that Seattle was on the West Coast? Are you drinking wine tonight? Hi, Naomi. So this card's really different. I mean, it's very much the same, but it's also very different. Ooh, what'd you do, Al? What'd you do? I'm normally 8 hours ahead. It's already tomorrow. No, it'd be like middle of the night my time. That's hilarious. I saw it, Al. All right. Anything jump out at you with this card? Does it make you feel something different than our other Eight of Cups? Does it make you feel the same? Does her path seem easier or harder? What you think? Everybody just saying hello. I'll just hold it up here for a while. Don't you worry. What's in the cups? Looks like flowers to me. Are those lotus flowers? They're not purple or pink. They look kind of lotusy. Or like orange artichokes. Essence 18, no less scary going into the woods. But what I do like, and yeah, I kind of agree, right? Up a mountain, through the woods, but we do see the light at the end, right? So we see that there's a destination, I think, of hope there and of good things. You know, yes, we have to go through these dark woods to get to the light, but we do have that light that we're aiming for, and at least we can see it. Yes, there's a light at the end of the tunnel. They look like loaves of bread. So Essence is hungry. Cups are definitely full, and the road seems to be easier than the previous card, right? Or it's got different challenges for those who are afraid of the dark versus the hills. Kimberly says, leaving what we had for the unknown, right? It definitely seems to be really mysterious, this card to me. Jamie says it is interesting that all the cups are full, not to mention a lot more colorful than the rest of the photo. It seems like there's a lot of lively color left behind, right? And maybe that kind of comes back to the knowing we're leaving something behind that we've always felt that was good and positive, and taking that journey away anyway. It feels much riskier than, you know, it's like in the Six of Swords, you know, we know we're leaving kind of troubled waters behind and moving forward. But with the Eight of Cups, it's a little less sure, right? We're leaving something behind that's a little bit more positive, which sometimes can make that journey harder to take. Old Jen? Oh, wait, maybe I missed something that the other Jen said. Okay, let's see if I missed any other of the good comments. Oh, Eight of Cups, we have nothing, could bring us to our lowest point, cups being at the bottom portion of the card. Well, that's an interesting way to look at that, Elle, the placement of the cups in relation to the other figure. Who are you calling old, Simon? Are you calling me old? Are you calling the other Jen old? What's happening? Julie is noticing that there are no mountains, or and then the flowers in the cup light at the end of the tunnel. Yep. Essence 818 is eating French toast, making us all hungry now. Earthy Shy, welcome back in time for a deck that you love, so that's good. White Tree Tarot, looks like she had to fill those cups up before she's able to see the light and move forward. Ooh, that's a really interesting way to look at that. I don't know what's with the old comments. All right. Ooh, hi, Lisa. Nice to see you. It's a phrase here, nothing really to do with age. Okay, the old thing. I'm lost. Someday I'll watch this back and get caught up on the chat. I love how she walks through the path of trees, says Earthy Shy Tarot. Yeah. Yeah, I think this card is really beautiful. I'm going to pull this up close one more time, and then I'll go ahead and pull out the question. Ooh, do you see? What is that? What is that kind of red up in the, it's like sparkles of light. The art style in this. You know, the other thing I noticed too is she's walking along in this dress. you know, she's not really, she doesn't look quite as prepared for a journey as this character does with his walking stick and coat and boots. You know, it's like she's kind of just like, okay, here I go. Selkie says, I find it romantic. Yeah, I totally see a bit of romance in this. Ascending to a higher spiritual state as a result, says Elle. Ooh, I like that. Minnie asks, you mentioned the spacious tarot, so I'm going to edge it in pink now and just listen for a while. Ooh, yeah, I really love my pink edging job that I did on that deck. It was a bit of a risk, but it paid off, I think. Oh, good old Elle. Yeah, Elle and I were talking about British terms for things versus American terms for things today. Like, I'm like, what's a lorry? A truck? I don't know. Anyway, before I get y'all started on that, they are lotus in the cuts. Yeah, I think those are lotus. Oh yeah, I guess this deck comes with a PDF guidebook, but I don't have it available. Elle, it's like she's shed the cups, shedding petty ideals. Each time we go through this process, we move into a deeper wisdom and understanding of ourselves. Ooh, yes. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. Oh, Simon doesn't know how old his daughter is. All right. So our first question is not written down today. It is, all right. So this was Jilly's question. What can we manifest in our lives this week? So that's a really interesting phrasing of the question when we get something that we've been talking about this whole time about leaving behind. So when we talk about manifesting, what can we manifest in our lives this week? What does the Eight of Cups tell us? Or how does the Eight of Cups answer that for us? Bye, Val. Thank you for coming. Simon said, the deeper the mud, the more beautiful the lotus blooms. An analogy for life. Yes, that Buddhist term, right? Or Buddhist phrase. Bastet says, a wonderful future. We just have to go for it, right? You know, I actually really love this card to answer this question. Again, I'm focusing kind of on this light at the end of the path, right? We're manifesting a bright and hopeful future, right? By being willing to recognize what we might need to leave behind. Ooh, 11:11. Oh, it's already 11:12 here. Dang it, I'm slow. Jamie asked, can I have a definition on manifest in your eyes, Jen? Okay. All right. So manifesting are, to me, and a lot of people might have different definitions for this, but to manifest means to bring something into our lives by willing and concentrating and believing in whatever that is, right? And different people have different ways of doing it. Sometimes people will bring magic into it. Some people will bring prayer into it. Some people just believe or believe in the law of attraction. There's a lot of different ways that we might manifest. But usually it involves being able to express it and visualize it and hope for it, right? And all those different ways that we then allow ourselves to manifest or bring that thing into our lives. Does that help? And if anybody else wants to contribute and answer that question in a different way, that's what we're here for. So please feel free to kind of express different viewpoints on what that might mean for you. So Jilly said, strength and belief in the future. Keep moving onward and upward. Yes, yes, yes. Bring forth as a definition of manifest, right? That's a real simple way of doing it. I always use a lot of words to explain things. And so we can manifest appreciating what we have, even if it's not totally fulfilling. Kiana says we can manifest the courage to move away from things that don't serve us and onto something new. Michelle, I'll actually answer this for everybody here. Jilly's Facebook group, Little Zen Crone's Facebook group is called Life Without Walls, and it's great. So if you haven't joined it and you're on Facebook, we're currently doing a meditation challenge, and I could be doing better. But all right, Essence 818, believing in something unseen so strongly that it becomes real to you as a definition of manifest. Yes, yes, yes. All right. Any other things that we think that we can manifest or that the Eight of Cups? But I think those are really great answers for this. I'm going to go ahead and, oh my gosh, 45 minutes in and I'm only one alternate card in. Let's see what else we've got here. All right, I keep trying to find ways to be more organized. And it's never the same every week. All right, let's do something that's likely to be a bit different. I kind of try and alternate between ones that kind of run closer to the RWS and ones that I know are likely to be really, really different. Oh, can somebody post a link to Jilly's Facebook group? Either Jilly could do that or I know Elle could probably do it for us. All right. So the deck that I have now is the Chrysalis Tarot. And in the Chrysalis Tarot, the cups are represented by mirrors. So beautiful deck. These are the backs if you haven't seen it. Very different. It kind of has its own system, but actually I think this card really resonates actually quite a bit more closely to the original RWS version than I thought it would. Ooh, look at that. That's so pretty. Thanks for that, Elle. Somebody else might have to post the link to the group until Elle returns from the loo. Jilly got it. All right, so this is our 8 of Mirrors from the Chrysalis Tarot. I love the idea of mirrors, especially for this particular card, I think. Oh, I know. Do I say it funny? Like mirror instead of, how do you say it? Mirror? I don't know how to say it like a Brit. Yeah, Shane, you're not going to be able to hear him. He says mirror. I know. Elle teases me all the time about that one too. Earthy Shy Tarot says, don't look behind you. See your reflections. Jamie says, the mirrors make you look at yourself. Maybe going the other path can help you focus on something new. Yes. Selkie says, cannot face yourself. So is he walking away from his reflection on what he's seen about himself and maybe the choices that he's made? Interesting. Yeah, we say mirrors, like in meerkat. And you say Mira? Mira? Am I saying that kind of British-like? Patrice notes the butterfly equals transformation. So did anybody notice those beautiful butterflies up in the corner there? Oh, that was so pretty. We are definitely going through a transformation right now. Boy, is that true. Is that true? It looks like you tried out different shapes of mirrors but kept seeing the same face. Ooh, that's an interesting way to look at it. Yeah, we have all these different shaped mirrors. None of them truly maybe reflecting what he wanted to see. So he's off on the hunt for something new. I like that. Ooh, I said it like a Brit. Mira. No, that one wasn't as good. That's because my nose is getting stuffy. All right. So our second question, his face looks fearful. Ooh, does it? Let's look at that really close. I also really think it's cool that his staff has that sort of face on it as well. Yeah, fearful, maybe even sad. He's definitely got his walking stick. Is this a guide of some kind? Yeah, this deck looks really pretty when it's trimmed. I have not yet attempted it, as you can see. This is the Chrysalis Tarot. Essence 818, this is the box for it. Looks like this. I think the majors get a little bit different in this. This is one deck that I actually haven't really, no, I take it back. I did work with it for a week. But sometimes it can deviate a little bit. The suits are very different. Oh, it's sitting in your cart. All right, so our second question, this was from Jennifer Ball. What can we do to elevate our moods this week? All right, so how does this tell us we can elevate our moods? Got a kid call. All right, Julie, at least we answered your question, Julie. One of the things that kind of came right, with you guys talking about the reflection in the mirrors right away, it's not trying to, okay, I lost my thought, but it's looking in the mirror and trying to see something different than what is. By not doing that, maybe we can, by recognizing what is true and moving forward and being less focused on what we want to see versus what's actually there. Does that make sense? I don't know if that made sense. That's what I get for trying to spitball. Naomi says, by walking away from negativity, right? Elle says, turn off, take a social media break, stop taking on everyone else's fears and opinions. So leave all of that stuff behind. And a lot of times when we do see those negative things, if we see too much bad news on social media or just media in general, that can reflect kind of our worst fears back to us, right? And so they may not even be saying something, but we'll be hearing it because that's what we're afraid of hearing, if that makes sense. Do you have this set with the book, Jen? Oh, I do actually have the book for this. It's in the other room. I got it separately. And I haven't actually read it yet. I forgot I had it until you just reminded me. I know, a social media break. Some people are really depending on social media right now to be the way that they connect with others. So it's really for everybody, it's going to be different as far as what's healthy. Selkie says, don't look too deep into things. Just carry on. Ooh, I like that. Stay on track or on the path, says Nancy. Carry on, my wayward son. Ooh, now a song's playing in my head. The song for this week should be I'm Walking, Fats Domino. Okay, so what Best is referring to is in the Tarot Playdate Facebook group. Heather Carter started this a while back, where she was posting, and we've had other people kind of pick this up and run with it too. Somebody posts a song, a link to a song that reminds them of that card of the week. And that's a really fun game to play, to think about all the different songs that might remind you of that card or that you feel reflect the spirit of that card for the week. It's fun to do. So if you want to come play, I like seeing the songs in there. Jamie says, the person in the reflection has a bias. The path leads to other insight. Essence 818 says, stop being so critical. When you look in the mirror, you are looking for flaws. Turn away and seek confidence in other ways, inner strength, and courage. Yes, I love that. All right. That was good. That's good stuff. All right, let's go to card number 3. Set that aside. What's this one? Ooh, in one of my new bags that I got from the Northwest Tarot Symposium, or pouch, I suppose is what you would call this. All right, this is the older version, the Corinne Kenner version of the Wizard's Tarot. Some people like it, some people don't like it. It is out of print now. Where are my cups? There we go. Now this is kind of interesting. All right, here is our 8 of Cups from the Wizard's Tarot. I like how those 2 top cups are kind of leaning against each other. And we have kind of a gap in the middle. Very precariously balanced, those top 2 cups. So does this bring anything different to mind? Yeah, they look exactly. They look precarious. So, ooh, are those going to fall over? Don't walk away too stomp-like. Don't walk away in anger. They might tip over. Now, this is interesting because I don't really see the path ahead. He needs to get in that water. This is Simon. Yeah, it looks like he's just going to walk straight into it, right? And here the mountains are much further off, if those are even classified as mountains, or maybe just a hill. He's closer to the cups in this card, just starting. That's a great way to look at that. Is this journey is he hasn't really quite set out on the path. He's just kind of barely turned his back. Should I or shouldn't I take the risk, Naomi? Yeah, he's making the decision right here and there. Feeling sorry for himself, says Selkie, not recognizing what he has got. The sky is blue, Lori's noticing, so less gray, right? More midday look. He looks sad, says Earthy Shy Tarot. Still waters run deep, says Susie. Hecate says, my first thought was supported possible as you turn away from what was. Oh, support is possible? Is that kind of what you mean? White Tree Tarot. Here, that missing cup or removing a cup has caused instability. Ooh, that's interesting. He does look younger. Maybe he can't swim. you know, I feel like he's going to walk along this river, but it definitely feels like he's just a bit sooner in his journey than we are here, right? This here, the steps have already been taken, and here it's like, okay, I need to work up the courage to take that first step. So our question to answer with this card: how can we best take care of our loved ones and or support each other this week? So how does the Eight of Cups answer that for us? How we can best take care of our loved ones and or support each other. So this is kind of a combined question that I mashed together from Bastet and Patrice. Trying to get back to my chat here. Yeah, a hesitancy that Essence is seeing in this card. Earthy Shy Tarot noted that he's heavily leaning on that staff as support, so trust the support that you have. Some agreement with what I was saying there. Okay, who did we lose? Oh, Anne. Bye. Oh, that's what I wanted to say. Elle, you weren't supposed to let me forget. So I wanted to wish all the moms in the UK a happy Mother's Day. Mother's Day in the US isn't until May, but a very happy Mother's Day to everyone, and to those who have moms that they are celebrating. And I know it's probably a bit of a harder day, that some of you may not be able to go see your moms as you normally would. And so I'm just sending lots of good thoughts to all of the mothers in the UK and to all of the children of mothers in the UK. Yes, Jackie, happy Mother's Day. I'm literally in the same room as my mom. Yeah, I wanted to remember to say that. Okay, anyway, sorry. Back to the Eight of Cups. Back to how can we best support each other and our loved ones this week. So build a better emotional-based support for others so they can rely on us. Don't let things get too precarious, maybe, right? So would anybody interpret this card? Oh, it's in New Zealand too. Oh, well, happy Mother's Day in New Zealand too. Clearly, I have some world stuff to learn here. Thank you for letting me know that, Hecate. Happy Mother's Day, everyone. So, when I look at this card in response to how can we best support our loved ones and each other, does anybody else but me maybe look at this as maybe this isn't the time to walk away? Maybe it's that we need to stay and be strong for each other. And this card in particular, it's like this character is on the verge, and maybe now this is a question of the right time. Just a thought, playing devil's advocate with the tarot here. Yes, I'm a UK mother by adoption. I share with Jackie, though. I do share her. Thanks, Simon. I did maybe get a little something in the mail from my tarot daughter, and it made me literally bawl. So thank you for that, Al. Jamie says maybe stay and make things a little more stable. Maybe that's why this one is closer. Now isn't the time. That's exactly what I was thinking, Essence. Indian takeaway. Yum. Way to treat your mom to Indian food, Al. Good choice. Mindy says, so it's in May everywhere except the UK. Always have to be different. Well, apparently in New Zealand, it's also Mother's Day today. So maybe it's us Americans that just run off on our own path, huh? White Tree Tarot, I was just typing this. Don't forget that your emotions and support can influence others. Don't just go away, right? So sometimes we have to think, even if we know we have to make a move, considering right time, right place, being mindful of other people's emotions and not just our own can be really important. We always want to take care of ourselves, but that doesn't mean that we can't be mindful, compassionate, and caring about the feelings of others as well, and making sure that people are okay and that those cups are going to stand up, right, before we walk away, right? And so I would probably answer this one very differently, pulling this card maybe than I did this one. I don't know. It's hard to say. Does anybody else have? You're in May as well, Hector. Oh, good grief. That's what I get for trying to do two things at once. Show cards, more than two things, talk about cards, talk about Mother's Day. All right, I got it. So it is the UK. Who's leaving? Oh, Shane, bye. Thank you for joining us for a bit. It was really fun. Rebel for Tarot Playday. That's cute. Aquarius L, others' feelings can be precarious. Be gentle and kind. Yes, definitely agree with that. All right, does anybody else have any other thoughts or any differing viewpoints on kind of how I interpreted that card to answer that question on how we can be best take care of our loved ones and support each other? Totally open to other ideas and thoughts, or I can pull the next card. So I don't keep you here all day. All right, we're kind of quiet, so I'll go ahead and pull the next one. All right, what do I have here? Ooh, I have, is that right? Let me make sure I have the right cards. I do have the right cards. All right. We'll do one more easy card and then we'll go for the hard one. That way I can challenge you at the end of Tarot Playdate. Sorry, I got to get my little chat back here. All right, this one. 9 people have not clicked the thumb. Actually, that's pretty good, Julia. Patrice said, turn our backs on our own heightened emotions long enough to look how we can offer support. Ooh, that's a great way to look at that as well, right? And, you know, we have the support in that staff as well. All right, one of my favorite decks. Anybody recognize these backs? Let's see what our Everyday Witch. Our Everyday Witch often has really unique imagery, so I'll be excited to see this one. Oh, yes, I remember this card. What am I saying? Excited to see it. I know this card. Here is our 8 of Cups from the Everyday Witch. Eight of Cups is my favorite card in the deck. Are you talking about this deck, Jen? Elle, you still don't have this deck. It might be too normal for you, Elle. I'm challenging you now. This card's smoking, like literally, right? Or that cup is smoking. So here we have that 8, you know, kind of that gap where that 9th cup would be again. We got a little fur baby here coming with us. Oh, she's out. Her cat is all on board. She's like, I'm out of here. She's ready to leave with the broom. See, now this one to me, it's funny because this one here, like the distance between her and the cups is not that different from here. But do you get a different vibe from this? Like, I feel like with his head down, he's a little less sure of his decision. Whereas here, exactly, Jackie, she looks purposeful. She looks confident. She's standing up straight. She knows what decisions she's making, and she feels pretty good about it, I would say. Any other thoughts? Look at the sky in this one. It's a little stormy, isn't it? We don't kind of have that clear sky. Okay, don't shake, Jen. We don't really have that clear sky that we've seen in some of the other cards. She's flying, she's packed, she has her cat. It looks positive, she is confident. No matter the storm, she knows this is what she needs to do, right? She doesn't even have an umbrella. She's heading right into that stormy sky. She's got what she needs in that bag. Now, she still kind of has that support with her broom, right? She's taking her goodies with her, says Julia. Yep. At least she's somewhat prepared. I can appreciate that about her. No hesitation, says Earthy Shy. So we all get this feeling like there's no question in this decision the way we maybe sometimes see it in other versions of this card. Hecate says, sending the wishes into the sky, she moves ahead with confidence needed to find the unknown. Yes. Oh, with her. Oh, I totally read it as with her. Oh, interesting. This gives me more of the 5 of Cups. As with the 5, we're leaning still with something to hold on to, but with the 8, we leave everything behind. So how do you see her leaving still with something to hold on to? Oh, because of the fact that she's carrying her bag, Elle, is that what you mean? Yeah, a lot of times in the 8 of Cups, we see that they have nothing else, right? So maybe that seems riskier. Maybe that's what's making her more confident in her decision is she has whatever she needs here, and she has her fur baby. which always makes things easier for me. All right. Essence 818 says she's preparing for takeoff for sure. No hesitation. Maybe just taking that deep breath. Yeah, she's still got her baggie. All right. She has her tools, says Naomi. I love this card so much. I love the confidence in this card. I feel like if you have to make a move like this, I want to feel good about it. I want to feel sure about it, right? So I want to see that version of this card. I'm not going to lie. White Tree Tarot says, to me, this seems the most finished and positive version of all so far. Yeah, just like the Fool in his pouch. I was thinking the same thing, right? That really kind of reminds me of the knapsack that we see on the end of the Fool's wand or stick. So our question, our fourth question, and this was from Jamie, my Jamie, my future son-in-law, Jamie. How can we maintain patience this week? Ooh, how can we maintain patience this week? Okay, why can't I get my little thing? This is what happens when you have too many windows open. So what does the cup, the smoke rising from the cup indicate? Did she perform a little magic before she walked away? Maybe. Maybe she burned, you know, that kind of a release ritual, right? She said, here's what I'm releasing. She put it into the cup, she burned it, and she walked away. Okay. This is the story I'm telling myself, and I kind of love it, actually, if I do say so myself. Focus on your needs and nothing more, says Essence 818, in answer to our question. Science to Soul Jen, by turning our back on the emotions that test our patience, right? So walking away from the things that we know make us impatient. Aquarius Owl, be confident in our decisions, even if it is to leave something behind. Right? The confidence is what really comes, is like kind of screams out to me with this one, for this question. Jamie says, let the fur babies comfort and calm you into being patient. Yes, Jamie, a lot of times when we answer questions with the tarot, whatever jumps out at us from the card, even if it's something that doesn't necessarily have anything to do literally with the meaning that we normally know, sometimes that's actually the answer. So I love that as an answer to this. Hecate says, ritualistic ceremony with releasing the past. I think people, you guys are buying into my magic, my release magic. Earthy Shy, love my fur babies, so calming. Isn't that interesting that for this particular question, this is the card that we, are using, and that has the fur baby in it. Essence 818, be present while looking forward to a positive outlook. Don't look back. She set intentions, Julia. Yes. She's manifesting all day long, isn't she? Yeah. So I think being patient is a lot easier when we're confident and we know what direction we're heading. Sometimes the unknown, the things that are scary or where we have a lot of doubt, we're a lot more likely to let fear and impatience creep in. So I think that makes a lot of sense to kind of look at that confidence and also the support that you have on your journey to allow you to have patience and know that it might take a minute to get there, but we're going to get there. And the journey might not be short. So having patience and remembering that sometimes it takes a little longer to get somewhere, or it might take longer to get through certain things than we would like it to, but it doesn't mean that we're not going to get there. Susie says, are the cups spaced? No timeline. Move on anyway. Go forward. Right? So again, even though we don't know the timeline, even though we don't know exactly when the end is going to come or when we're going to get to our destination, moving forward anyway. Any other thoughts on this before I move on to our fifth and final card for this week? Oh, Elle. I don't know why, Elle, I keep missing your comments almost. You're even a blue wrench. I don't know what's happening. You've got what you need around you. Our fur baby, supplies, decks, and broom. We got this. Yes, 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 yes. Deep breaths, says Essence 818. I know, I'm sorry. I admitted it. I didn't have to do that. Didn't have to call myself out. All right, let's get our fifth and final card and our fifth and final question. I don't know why my nose always gets stuffy during tarot play date. It's just, it's all those things, right? All right, we're gonna go deep. We got the Spirit Keepers Tarot for our 5th and final card this week. I actually think I'm going to start tackling, I was reading it yesterday. I'm trying to set an intention for myself to tackle her 22-week workbook starting tomorrow. It's quite a commitment, but I figure I've got time, right? Maybe a little bit more time than normal. All right. I said it out loud to maybe hold myself somewhat accountable. All right. Okay, this one isn't so scary as some of these can be. All right. The steaming cup reminds me of coffee, said Earthy Shy Tarot. Don't forget the coffee. That helps, right? If we don't have our coffee, if we don't have our caffeine, we might be a little more irritable and a little less patient. All right. Here is our 8 of Cups from the Spirit Key. This is the Vitruvian edition, obviously, for those of you who've seen. Two, 3, 4, 5, 6. I was counting how many stars. 6 over there, 3 over there. Mandy just pulled this deck out this morning. Elle says, I'm seeing the Deathly Hallows symbol in the moon. Is that what that is? There's so much. I should have probably grabbed, I have the little book that comes in here. I should have grabbed like the medium white book, but I will read out of the little book if you guys want. Just because there's so much that goes on in this deck. SMSite 18 says, it looks like he's climbing a mudslide. Climb that mountain, says Jen. Yeah, this one, that is a steep uphill climb that's happening. Now, here's something interesting. Like, he's already on the other side of this river, right? And the cups are way, way over here. Some of the cups are floating. Yeah, see, these 2 are stacked on these 3, but these are up in the clouds, or up in the sky, not the clouds. Yeah, I don't think it's a Harry Potter symbol. Earthy Shy says, this deck is so intimidating. It is, but it's fascinating. It is probably my most intimidating deck, but every time I use it, it's never as hard as I think it is. But I think I am ready to take my deep dive. That was one of my tarot goals for myself this year. And I think it's time. Like, it's feeling like the right time. Oh, Mandy has her medium white book right there. Jamie says, all of these cards so far seem like different time frames in the situation. Ooh, good observation, Jamie, right? With our different sort of places as far as where we're at in the journey. Now, these 2 are actually really similar to me. You know, see how we're both on the other side of the river. But then in this one, it feels like she's further away, even though she's not going uphill. This guy's been on his path for a while. And rather than leaving kind of all 8 cups at once, it's like he's leaving a mirror behind as he's moving along the journey. More and more is getting left behind, which we didn't really talk about when we looked at this card, but that's really different than what we're seeing with these other ones. This one really close, right? This one really close. She's made her decision and she's on the way. He looks like he's resigned to the decision. Sorry, just you fascinated me with that observation, Jamie. I got a little sidetracked there. The stars are aligning, says Susie. Oh, yes, right? Like, literally, stars are aligning. So what is with the floating cups? Are they going with, is the bird taking them? I actually think there's literal meaning to the floating cups. Hi, Wendy. We're on our 5th card and 5th question. I haven't asked the 5th question yet, though. Patrice says, turning his back on his emotions. This is not an emotional decision. What does the bird signify? Wendy, are you in the UK? We're an hour earlier than normal until next week. Yes, Jamie, and this one looks visually like the most difficult journey. Yeah, that's steep uphill, right? That's very intimidating. So Mandy says, it says the 5 chalices stacked on the ground symbolize the material work that the defector leaves behind. Oh yeah, we didn't talk about the keyword on this, which is the defector up here at the top. So that's what she's referring to there. And the 3 above are the beliefs and ideologies now abandoned. So this is more part of the material world, and this is the beliefs. Oh, that's really cool. See, I knew they meant something very particular. Yeah, we'll get back to our normal schedule next week, Wendy. Sorry about that. All right. Um, Mindy, see what I wrote above about the cups. Oh, yes. A sense of heartbreaking as walking away, says Hecate. Oh, I'm glad you got to at least FaceTime and see your son. So let me see if the little book says anything really different. It probably is going to be really much the same. Very much the same is what I wanted to say. Let's see here. Oh, that's right. She organizes the book based on the numbers, not on the suits. 8 of chalices. There is the spirit of abandoned success. The defector is the spirit personification of abandoning one path to walk a contrasting and entirely different one. This is walking away from what you have otherwise devoted a great deal of effort to and not looking back. This is the spiritual quest for that which will be more emotionally fulfilling. And then, yep, the 5 chalices. Let's see. We talked about that. Okay, I think that's pretty good. So, thank you, Jennifer, for being my cheerleader. Wendy says it looks like it's a struggle to go and needs support to do this, right? Really leaning heavily on that staff with this uphill climb, for sure. Simon says, I'm not sure how I feel about defector. Yeah, because isn't that kind of a word when like somebody like defects in the war, like runs away from the battle? It does kind of indicate that maybe it's a running away rather than a controlled walking away. So I can kind of see that. Okay, let me see. I missed some comments here while I was reading that. That symbol in the moon, a symbol of a circle, whoopsie, within a square, within a triangle, within a larger circle represents alchemy and the philosopher's stone, which is the ultimate goal of alchemy. Oh, yes, that makes sense. Mindy says, also it says, when this card appears, wisdom will be attained, and the path of the mountain is the path toward achieving your great work. Earthy Shy, so he is searching for that goal, white sage, as he walks towards it. Yeah, the term can be seen as negative. I can see where you're getting that, Simon. Essence 818, I love when the book explains with specifications the meanings of obvious notable changes, such as the 3 of Cups floating. Yeah, I definitely appreciate that. Mindy says, the bird flying overhead is the material manifestation of a guardian who will be overseeing your difficult journey. Ooh, I like that. I like a guardian on a difficult journey. I use my friends for that a lot. Essence 18, I hear defector in Russia comes to mind. Oh, goodness. Did anybody ever watch The Americans, that show? It was quite entertaining. Hecate can be a sense of moving into a new situation by leaving behind what was, as in defecting from a country. Jennifer is so on the ball with her thumbs up. Oh, Elle, you and your dad jokes. All right. Defector can be an oppressed person too, says Susie. Oh, that's interesting. And Hecate said it can be a sense of moving into a new situation by leaving behind what was. Oh, I read that already. Okay. So our 5th and final question. This is really interesting. How can we alleviate boredom this week? I say go on a hike. That's the first thing that came to mind for me. Anybody else? How does the 8 of Cups answer the question for you? How can we alleviate boredom this week? Climb the mountain, says Jamie. Right? Technically, hiking trails are still open. Just stay 6 feet away from people. Yes, hike, walk the dogs, get outside, go for a walk, right? I'm going to take this one really literal. Maybe defector isn't a bad choice. Going to ponder this without buying the deck, of course. Yeah, it's kind of an expensive one to get your hands on if you don't already have it. Any other thoughts? Maybe less literal? I mean, I kind of like my literal interpretation, but oh, Jamie, take the risks you normally wouldn't. Ooh, that is a great answer to the Jamie. I think you're well suited to the tarot. I think you should continue this. Bastet says, do the emotional work to get to higher ground. Like this is really a time when we can really focus on those things and really spend time to evaluate what has been. Now that we're in kind of this state of flex and everybody's kind of out of their normal routine, maybe we have a better opportunity to look and see what it is that we need to leave behind so that we can move forward in a more positive way. Jen says, stop focusing on what was and look for the positive new things open to you, right? Look for those hidden gems, those hidden opportunities. Do you have more time now to read that book that you haven't had the time for because you were spending time in your car commuting? I can actually listen to more podcasts because I have more time to walk the dogs than I did when I was getting in my car. Even though my commute was only 7 minutes, it was never enough time to listen to a full podcast. But going for a walk with the dogs, now I can listen to a podcast. Wendy says it gives me an excuse to catch up on loads of YouTubes. Yes, I'm finally getting caught up. I only have like 120 left in my watch later list. So if you see me commenting or liking or not commenting, it's because I'm trying to get through these videos. Wendy says, time to declutter whilst at home. Psychically yours, try something new. Susie, don't literally don't give up. I like that. Hecate, I got Count the Stars, a chance to look up. Yeah, see the beauty where we can, right? Naomi's painted 2 gates. Ooh, way to be productive, Naomi. Wendy, I am finishing a few outstanding online courses. Ooh, I would love to sign up for some online courses, especially tarot courses. If anybody has recommendations for good online tarot courses, I would love to know what they are. So find a way to get hold of me and give me those recommendations, whether it's commenting in here, emailing me, Facebook, I don't care. I really would love to maybe tackle some good ones. Jamie says, watch Tarot Playdate because you have time off today, which you normally don't. Yes, Jamie. Mindy, remember your guardians are there to help you through this difficult time as we find new paths like how to work or school from home. Essence 18, I just bought Mad Libs for myself and my little ones. Great for initiating more writing. Ooh, Mad Libs. They have stood the test of time, have they not? Elle says, I now actually have to do the things I promised myself I'd do. Yes, accountability. We have time, no excuses. Redecorating Elle's room. I keep waiting for the updates, Jackie. I'm going to hold her accountable for that too. Like sort your tarot shelves. Ooh, let's see. Earthy. Oh, your garden is beautiful and relaxing. All right. So before we head off, because we're not done yet, we got to talk reversals. All right. For those who don't read reversals, oftentimes this card can come up as something that's being, that's blocking or challenging. So think about it like that, even if you don't think about reversals or read reversals literally. So when the 8 of Cups reversed, he falls on his head. That's what happens. All right. What do you guys, when you see this card reversed in a blocked or challenged position, what does that mean to you? Silence. There we go. Oh, Essence 18 says, I'm so not creative in an artsy way, but I'm creative in finding different ways to tackle a mountain, get through challenging situations. Jamie says the cups are going to spill out. Yeah, every time we see the cups cards reverse, we think about those emotions flooding. And maybe it's, we might still be walking away, but it's a lot more difficult emotionally. We're having a lot harder time feeling confident in our decision. Maybe that has something to do with that. Feeling frustrated, says Simon. Oh, falls on his head and dies. The end. Fell off the mountain. That's really depressing. Bastet says his emotions are now weighing him down, so he can't leave. Simon says, perhaps you have been feeling restless and have an urge to move on, or maybe you have been finding that things which want to give you joy and satisfaction no longer hold value. Yes. You really notice the gloomy sky when this is reversed. Hi, TK. Do you hear him in the background? He's making his presence known. Yes, Jen. It does really seem to stand out more, doesn't it, when it suddenly becomes a focal point of the card. Kiana says, holding on, clinging to the past when you know your current situation has to change. Yes. The cups act like a prison. He's kind of in between the gap. Ooh, look at that. Yeah, you kind of notice his feet sort of right in there, like he's dangling, like the hangman, but not by choice. Interesting. Interesting observation. Yeah, TK's saying hello. Essence 818 says, when any cup is reversed, I think splashed, drenched, drowned, depends on the number of cups, right? There's a lot of cups here. So I feel like that's a lot of uncontrolled emotion. Exceeding safely outdoors and definitely no one else in surroundings, says Wendy. Afraid to let go of the past. Yes. Like, he's really cute. He's really old, but he's really cute. Everything pours out, says Susie. See, I can play too, Elle, just a little bit. I get a little bit more confident in sharing my thoughts with you all every play date. Overflow of emotions, says Naomi. Simon says, look at where you are feeling dissatisfaction in your life and then question whether it's time to listen to the message behind your frustration. Wendy says, exceeding should be exercising and relates to earlier comment, not tarot related. Oh, yeah, I'm just reading stuff out loud without context. Wendy, you got to be careful with me, I suppose. Someday I'll read it back and be like, oh, that's what Wendy was talking about. That's all. No, don't be sorry. Feel free to chat away. I just spend so much time reading chat out loud in Tarot Playdate that you just never know. You just never know. So just know it could be read out loud. All right. This has been so great. All right. So as always, I did not bring the Playdate. I didn't bring the book, the book that nobody's using, but I didn't bring it. So the Tarot Playdate or Playbook book, I don't have the exercise for that handy. And I'm not going to run away and come back, but I will post it in case anybody's still doing any of those. I will post it in the description box below and in the Facebook group. But I do have the alternate activity. And then also I'm going to do a little something different right before we end Playdate. So stick around if you want to know what that is. And don't hang up on me just yet. I'm going to get our alternate activity this week for connecting with the 8 of Cups. Let's see what we've got. Let's see who did it too. Oh, wait, I have to use the number 8. 8 of Cups. Okay, this was one of mine. So we'll see how we did here. All right, this one's a pretty literal one. Let me see. I have some questions in here. Did you say normal time next week is for some reason YouTube has reminded me, although I did set it to remind me. Yeah, so it'll be back because the UK changes time next week, or, you know, and I don't know what's happening with Australia and New Zealand. Jen and Hecate, are these, are you at your normal time or have you been off and do you have a different time change? But I do know in the UK next week, it'll be back to 6:30 p.m. I did try to put in my little screenshot, and I even put it in my description of the video this time that it was 5:30 p.m. GMT, but all right. Susie, yes, sending love and light, sticking around. I like it. Oh, it's the normal time. Okay, so no change. So Jordan, oh, Michelle, I forgot you were in Jordan. So you changed next week too. So hopefully next week we'll be all back to the normal schedule. It's always a little goofy during these couple weeks when we don't change time at the same time. All right, this week's alternate activity, again, you don't have to frantically rush to write this down. I will post it below this video when it uploads. I'll also put it in the Tarot Playdate Facebook group. For those of you who haven't joined, come on over and hang out with us. This is called Step into the Unknown. Let's leave the familiar behind. Shuffle your deck and ask the question, what do I need to leave behind, even though it may be comfortable and or familiar, and draw a card. Now, oh, this is something, this might be harder to do right now. Now grab your deck and head out to somewhere you have never been before, but that is safe, that you've always been a little unsure about visiting on your own. Example, I always wanted to try that restaurant, but I don't want to go alone. This is not aptly timed for the coronavirus, but think outdoors, somewhere where it's safe and that you're allowed to go, maybe to get out of your house and cure some of that boredom. Once you get there, pull another card for yourself asking, what should I do to help ease my discomfort while on this new venture? Follow the card's advice and hopefully enjoy yourself. So this is a cure for boredom, but this is not meant for you to risk your safety during this COVID-19 pandemic. So please be careful and thoughtful when choosing whether or not to follow this exercise. All right, so that's that. I wanted to do one other thing before I left you for the day. One of the things that I find to be really important is finding and maintaining balance in my life. It's a lot of the reason the tarot has been such a big part of my life. So I thought it might be fun to pull from let me get my little chat window back up here. The Spark Balance matchsticks. I thought I would pull a little matchstick for us all if you feel like you need to find a little extra balance in your life this week. So, Michelle, you can only sit on your balcony, however, or you'll get arrested. So maybe here's some if you can't go anywhere different, please don't get arrested. So Jordan must be in a total lockdown. Grab something different to drink or something different to eat. Try to find a way to experience something new. Yes, I know you have them, Simon. I wonder where you got them. All right, so if you need to find a little extra balance in your life this week, just listen. Oh, I love that. Just come on, focus. Maybe if I do this. There we go. Just listen. Find a way to listen this week. That's my lesson in balance for you. I feel really good about that. I feel like that's a message I need to remember sometimes. It can get really easy to get talking. But if we listen to one another and listen to yourself, listen to your heart, right? Think about how that kind of falls in line with our card for the week. I think they're a very nice balance. All right, everyone. Thank you. Oh my gosh, I think this is our longest play date yet, which might explain why I lost a few folks. But thank you for hanging out with me. I've really enjoyed this, as I always do. Next week, back to normal time zone change differences and all that. So we should be on schedule. These are called Spark Balance. 50 ways to be present and find focus. And they have other ones. They have Spark Magic, Spark Creativity. You can see them. They're actually, I want to say, I know they are in the UK because they have UK price on them, but I got these at a local metaphysical bookshop, but I've seen them around. So metaphysical stores, you can probably get them on Amazon. I don't know how fast they'll deliver them to you right now, but there's lots of cute ones. So let's find a little balance in our lives. And I will see you next week at the very latest in our 17th Tarot Playdate. Thank you so much for all of your participation today. Great card, great conversation. Sending lots of love and patience to all of you. And I'll see you next week. Bye. Shh, hi, TK. Say goodbye to up here. TK wants to say goodbye, and then we'll end the stream. All right. He says, everyone be safe and healthy.